Well, here we are. Nate Kingsley was not able, no, not yet, was not able to be here to bring our invocation. So I will step in, and if you would like to join me in prayer, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this community. We thank you for being with us tonight in our meeting and guiding our decisions so that they are the best ones for the community. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so now Megan, you can start that thing. And 7 o'clock, I call the meeting to order and ask you to please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Megan, would you please take roll call?
Mayor Hammond,
Get here.
Barry Lambert,
Here.
Mike Connell,
Here.
Chad Fuller,
Here.
Bob Porter,
Here.
Jacob Buffer.
Here.
All present. Shirley Smith is absent this evening.
We thank Megan for filling in for Shirley. She took the night off, so thank you, Megan. Looking for approval of the agenda.
I move that the agenda be adopted as printed.
Second.
We have a motion from Chad, seconded by Bob. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Looking also for council meeting minutes approval of May 2nd.
I move that we suspend the rules, waive the reading, and approve the minutes from the May 2nd, 2024 regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion from Larry, seconded by Chad. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Do we have any pre-approved reports or presentations for tonight that are not on the agenda as an item? I don't believe we do. Any public comments? Megan, do we have any communications?
We do. Yard sales are this weekend, 17th, 18th, and 19th. A list of addresses that were given to the city are posted on our Facebook website. You can pick up hard copies at City Hall. They're also posted on the Carl's board, the Carl's message board. After yard sales wrap up, our large waste cleanup begins May 20th. That'll last through the 31st, 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, open till 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, closed Memorial Day. There is a Memorial Day parade in town Saturday, May 25th. If you are participating, you line up at 10, step off is at 11. And finally, the Perry Area Fire Rescue has notified us they're hosting a summer safety jamboree June 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the fire station. Flyers for that are also online.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so what we got is we're gonna give some free bike helmets giveaways. We got a bike course that we're gonna set up. We're gonna have like touch a truck, free food, and free smoke detectors. Also, there's going to be a dunk tank there that we just found out that we can get, so that was donated to us. So it should hopefully be a good day. Hopefully weather can be nice for us.
Firefighters can go in there. Firefighters can.
I know one.
Could the CESA board go in there?
No, I don't know about that.
I won't fit.
Okay. Thank you, Chad. Mayor reports. The one thing I do want to emphasize tonight is that we do still have a position open on the Planning Commission. And if you're interested in that, there's information about that on our website, or you can call City Hall. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Do we have any committee reports tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on then to presentation and approval of the bills.
I move that we approve the bills as presented and that payment be authorized.
Second.
Motion from Mike, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. We do have an old business item, and that has to do with that vacant lot down on M52. 12510 South M52 is the address. Our buyer that we thought we had in hand for a year and a half is no longer in hand. And because he does own the neighboring property and had been parking his truck on that with permission, our attorney did send him a letter. I think you all got copies of that. Just instructing him that since he's not going to be purchasing, that he will not be allowed to park on the lot any longer. So that was taken care of. And, oh, I just found this. It was in the wrong place. Oh, and there's your 3/4 report.
Oh.
It's all mixed up. Okay. The price that we had it listed for before was $8,500. And we did not use a Realtor to list it because we didn't think it was necessary. And so that's up to you guys as to how you want to handle it. This time, we had a cloud on the title before that we had to clear, and that took almost a year. So part of that waiting period for that title to clear, I think, is what caused perhaps the buyer to decide not to buy. But in any case, do remember that this lot is very irregular shaped. It's about a half an acre. There are no public utilities available to that site. We do have a copy of the survey on file. We have information from Shiawassee County as to what their requirements would be for the well that's on the site, because it will either need to be tested if it's going to be used, or it will need to be closed, which means pouring concrete down and capping it off if it's not going to be. This is the odd shape of the property. I can't even tell you what that is. Kind of a diamond. So we need to decide if you want, we'll just put it on the website, we'll advertise it in a few places that it's for sale and what asking price, or do you want to list it with a Realtor this time? We did advertise before that the buyer would be responsible to pay out closing costs, including title insurance, closing fee, preparation, recording of the deed, that they would pay any and all inspections and requirements from the Shiawassee County Health Department for the well and septic on site. It doesn't appear that it's buildable. I don't know what somebody would buy it for. Maybe they could put a vegetable stand on it. I mean, truly, that's a good thing for nice weather. But I don't know that for sure either. They'd have to go through all the appropriate applications and find out what they can do. So, open for discussion on what council would like.
I think we ought to go ahead and list it for someplace in the neighborhood of 7,000. And when I say list it, that we go ahead and post it, put it on our website, and not to engage an attorney, right, or excuse me, a realtor right now
Okay.
To that end.
I'm good with that.
Pardon?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
So did you say?
I personally almost feel like if we had no success, we might solicit a realtor. But that was just my take on it. It might take someone to look at the market and, you know, see what the best fit for advertising it, because right now I feel like there's a lot of unknowns. So paying a small commission might net us a better scenario.
We did have 2 different market analyses done last time. One by Barbara Weisga from Coldwell Banker Professionals, and one by Jeff Thornton of Thornton Realty Team at Coldwell Banker Briarwood. And they both did research and gave us, reports on this. One, just to read what it said, to build on this lot would require getting approval of the health department regarding suitable area for well-drained housing site. There are certain placement requirements which this property may not be able to meet. They recommended then a value at around $7,500. And then Barb said, with the size of the lot and the right-of-way for M52, which is a 25-foot setback, by the way, the lot will be limited to fit a septic system in a home. Therefore, the size of the home would likely be restricted. With all this information taken into consideration, the cost to improve this lot, in my opinion, the lot's value is between $7,500 and $10,000. She goes on to say with the business next door, the property would probably appeal to a neighbor as opposed to an outside buyer. So that's, their
I didn't know we
opinions
had
there.
that,
Oh,
yeah, so that's good to know.
Yeah, those were done in 2022. Any other information I can dig out of here for you that you might want to know about?
I move that we list the property located at 12510 South M52 for sale for $7,000 and allow the mayor to handle the details.
Second.
We have a motion from Larry, seconded by Mike. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. We'll get it out there, we'll post it. Jacob, we'll keep in mind, if we're just not getting anything. Last time when we first put it on the market, we did have some inquiries, and information was sent out, discussions were held, and,
Yeah, I just think that was the part that was missing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can always decide to list with a
Yeah.
realtor later on.
Yeah, and
If
that
it
was-
failed in 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, we could certainly do that. Okay, then, moving on into new business. We do have a appointment for our open council seat. Misty Lytle, who's here, has agreed to serve after I begged. And we really appreciate that. Misty's a teacher here in Perry. You teach math.
I teach special education at the high school.
Oh, special education, all right.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you'd like to tell council about yourself?
I'm married to Jared.
And Jared serves on the planning commission.
And we have a daughter that's graduating this weekend.
Yep,
And
Jenna.
then we have a daughter in Saginaw Valley. So, yep.
Any questions for Misty? Because I'm asking for council to approve the appointment of Misty to council.
I move that we approve the mayor's appointment of Misty Lytle to the city council for a term to expire on December 1st, 2024.
Second.
Is that Chad?
It's Bob, you
Bob?
can give it to Bob.
We have a motion by Larry, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Wonderful. So, Misty, if you'll step up here, I'll swear you in.
Where do you want me to step
We'll do
to?
that right kind of in the middle of this circle.
Yeah.
so you
You're
can
gonna stay right in
see
front of the camera.
Go a little further back.
So if you'll do one of these numbers for me,
Okay.
repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Charter and ordinances
the Charter and ordinances
of the City of Perry,
of the City of Perry,
and that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
perform the duties
perform the duties
as elected council member
as elected council member
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Good morning.
Thank you.
And you can have a seat.
Oh,
And we have a whole package of stuff. for you.
Okay, so let me grab my pen and paper then.
Thank you so much, Misty, we really appreciate that. And Jared, we appreciate your service as well. We'll now turn this over to Genevieve, the chairman of the Planning Commission, for our master plan update.
Thank you, everybody. I believe you received a copy of the latest iteration of the master plan. Does anyone have any general questions about it? No? Okay. I want to make some recognition first to Jeff from McKenna, who has been a really great support and moved the process forward. To you, Megan, who has been our cheerleader and our cattle prod when we have needed it to keep going. And most of all, to Larry, who has really put his heart and soul into this, really went over the document and wanted it to be the best that it could be for the community. So I think in the end, the council's decision to support funding of hiring McKenna was a wise one. We have a product that we have not had in Perry before, and it's something that will really move us forward in looking for grants and helping guide the Planning Commission and Council forward. So thank you for your review of it, and thank you for giving us that opportunity to work on it.
Oh, you are most welcome for the opportunity. You guys have put in a lot of time, a lot of work, all of you, and you included, Genevieve, the whole commission. Does anyone on council have any questions or comments for Genevieve regarding the most recent draft?
I just like to thank her for the comments. It certainly wasn't just me, it was the whole planning commission that had input to it as well. I did spend some time with Jeff going through and realigning a few things, and I think everybody was generally pleased with the changes. But I don't think we'd have gotten nearly as far along as Genevieve indicated without the help of Jeff and McKenna.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So that's all I have for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Looking then for approval of the master plan update, or the approval of it going out for public review.
I move that we approve the master plan update and open the plan for a 63-day review to the public.
Second?
We have a motion from Mike, seconded by Larry. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Moving then into our third quarter budget amendments, and Megan's filling 2 seats tonight, so.
It's weird to be honest.
Yeah.
So I've been keeping you guys posted on where we stand with interest revenue. We had budgeted $12,600 across all funds. As of March 31st, we've generated $36,212 in interest. I have a series of maturing bonds next week that will add a significant amount to that total as well. So, on to my suggested budget amendments. Most of them are necessary due to things that happened beyond our control after the budget was adopted last June. So my first recommendation is to increase the CESA ambulance assessment expense line. That is the funds that come in through taxes. It's funneled through us on taxes, and we make monthly installments to CESA for the total amount collected through the ambulance assessment. The increase is needed because of the additional that was added to the winter tax roll. The state requires that your budget be balanced, and that means you can't have an unplanned deficit. So without making these amendments, we're technically spending, even though we have the revenue coming in to offset the expenses, we're spending more than we had budgeted. So we need to make an amendment to increase that amount. Our original budget was $75,435. New budget, $111,000. The next amendments that need to be made are all tornado related. We booked approximately $504,000 to tornado related revenue, and that's between donations and insurance reimbursement. Currently expenses are at about $141,000, but we expect to end the year at about $352,000 because that is going to hopefully include a pavilion wrap up, or at least very much close to it, that we'll be able to book the expenses back to this budget year. So these budget adjustments are meant to offset the expected expenses, and they're all funded by increased revenue. so it's not depleting fund balance at all. The next suggested change in the general fund is to the planning commission department. It is over budget because of the master plan consulting. When I was budgeting, I only budgeted for the amount that I knew the city would be paying. I should have budgeted to spend the total, knowing that we were getting the revenue from the grant. So the total cost of this project is $25,000. $18,750 is coming in from the grant through the RRC program. We've received 75% of those grant funds to date, and once we get a published, I have a bill for the final. I'm holding off on paying it until we have a product in hand that's final. So that is why that adjustment is needed. Again, the increased expense is offset by increased revenue. Same thing then for the park fund. Thanks to the success of the crowdfunding campaign to build our playscape, we expect revenue from the fundraiser to be right around $45,000. So total spending between the donations and the budgeted park funds, I'm asking for an increase of $50,000 for expenses. That'll allow us to purchase the structure and all related things around it, landscaping, concrete, mulch, anything that was promised to donors based on their donor level is what we're putting out here. I think at this point, the city had planned to spend about $15,000 out of the park fund is what was approved in this year's budget. We're probably going to spend about $5,000 because the donations were so much more than we anticipated. So that's my recommendation for the park fund. The sewer fund, there was a liner project for a sewer project that was supposed to happen last budget cycle. Kevin had come back and asked for approval for a new invoice because it had crossed years. That happened after the budget was finalized. And it kind of slipped through the cracks in the sense that I wasn't aware it wasn't also in this year's budget. It was just the timing of the project. So the money was not spent last year. It has now been spent this year, so that increase is funded by fund balance because we had rolled that money over from last year's budget. And the last small one I have is out of the City Hall fund. Our revenue currently is projected to be $100 over budget. And like I said, the state does not allow unplanned over budget expense. So I'm asking for a $500 increase in expenses to offset that. Part of it, the $100 was the Christmas dinner. We had budgeted $1,000, we ended up paying $1,100. So those are my recommended expenses, increases, or amendments, whatever. Any questions about that, or where you see the rest of the budget setting as of third quarter? And just remember, this is a 2-month delay at this point. I don't have any concerns for anything not listed on my proposed amendments.
Floor is open for discussion or question that you might have for Megan. How about you, Misty?
Well, I'm just getting it right. That will be something I can read later on, I guess.
Yeah, if you wake up
But
during the
I
night,
thought-
take it because
I did like all your description, because as a community member, I would wonder, okay, why are you asking for more money? So I do appreciate what you said, so thank you for spelling it out so well.
I move that we approve the third quarter budget comparison and amendments as presented by the treasurer.
Second.
we have a motion from Larry, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you, Megan. Looking now for any discussion or information that Chad or Megan want to provide us regarding the Veterans Memorial Park Playscape.
I have renderings here. They are different angles, but if you'd like to take a look and pass them around. Because the fundraiser was so successful, we were able to pick a universal design for the playscape. Its most unique feature is a 360 loop slide. It will allow children to enter the play structure by transferring onto a slide platform. They can then reach upper levels of the playground just by crawling up a ramp. It's kind of got like a grip system on it, so as long as you have upper body strength, you'll be able to crawl up to the upper platforms, and then each rise thereafter, I think, is only about 6 inches, so it's not a big jump for kids with limited needs to be able to gain access to any of the features of the playground. We did solicit the help of Perry Public Schools. They pulled their younger students, so they got to pick the color scheme. We gave them 3 themes to choose from. We were very excited with the one they chose.
What is the color scheme?
This is it. This is what it's going to look like, yeah. They were given the option, a natural color theme, which is the one we have here, more of a Rambler theme, red, white and gray and black, and then a bright color theme that was just much more vibrant colors. And,
Blues and yellows and all that
yeah,
stuff.
so this is the one they chose. We're pretty excited about it. The invoice I have, or in your packets that was handed out today, is a quote for the play structure. The total on the quote is $38,566. That is for the structure, potentially 4 play panels. The border that will go around the perimeter, which is 40 by 40, as well as an ADA entry ramp, and freight. I do not anticipate that we'll actually spend the full $38,566. I just wanted to put this quote in front of you. We're narrowing down what the extra play panels will be. So the library's donation is what's covering at least one of those panels, but because it's so successful, we think we can add at least 2 play panels. So we're just looking to see how everything else is going to fall into budget also, because we have to consider concrete for footings, concrete for flat work outside, so we're just...
Mulch.
And mulch. We do have a local company, American Recycling out of Owasso, has offered to sell us the rubber mulch at manufacturing cost and donate labor to lay the material. So we'll be going that route for ground cover. That's about $3,300 is the quote they gave me.
It's expensive because we bought
Yeah.
bags for that
Yeah.
one, and I got that wholesale, and wasn't
Yeah.
a manufacturer cost.
Yeah, so that was a really great offer, and we're very thankful for their support, along with everyone else that has supported this project. So with that, we're seeking approval to go ahead and order the unit. We'll make a decision on what the play panels look like probably by middle of next week. I'll work with the Parks Committee, and hopefully we'll have something ordered by Friday. And right now, it's looking like delivery time frame mid to late July is what I was last told.
My note that I wrote a question, installation,
DPW.
they're gonna do it all?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, they're gonna use the vac truck to drill holes instead of augers, and Kevin has assured me that they are up for the task.
I wasn't questioning if they could do it, it wasn't anywhere near, so that's why I asked.
And
What was
that,
the installation? Just to
it
give us
was,
one.
yeah, it was 12
It
to
was-
$13,000
Yeah, 12 to
to
13
install.
grand for them to install it.
So,
And then there was also several quotes for the mulch. The mulch, the wood alone was more expensive than.
it was slightly cheaper than the rubber,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not
But
by
we have to
much, to
The
be
redo
fair.
playground mulch,
Yeah.
it's,
Mhm.
yeah, it's ridiculous what they want for that stuff.
And you have to do it every 2 years. So this is a one and done
For
potential.
the, mostly, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it will grow legs and find ways
Yeah.
over here and there.
It's close to permanent. Possible.
It does float some.
Yeah.
Before we if we approve it or not, I would just like to thank everybody that donated to get this going. I mean, I'm very, very happy that this was so successful by everybody in the community to get this going. I know it's not like a large play structure, but this is a very good way, I think, to show that the Parks Committee is getting around to get stuff rolling as much as we can. But I really like to thank everybody that donated. I was blown away by how this really kicked off, and I'm really happy that it's going the way that it's going.
The fundraiser officially closes end of day tomorrow. So at our next council meeting, I had planned on bringing a complete total list to, total dollars and total list of all our donors, so we can publicly thank them. I've also been acknowledging them on social media posts and in the platform itself, it has a way to update donors.
Well, the Parks Committee has done a great job, so Megan and Chad.
I would like to thank Megan too, she's really,
And Mike.
she stayed on top of this.
Yeah.
She's done a lot, and I really appreciate it.
I like Genevieve's reference to cattle prod.
The very best kind.
The very best kind, that's right, that's right. Looking for a motion?
I move that we approve the new play structure for the Veterans Memorial Park in the amount not to exceed $40,000 and authorize Megan Galbraith to place the order.
Second.
We have a motion from Chad, seconded by Jacob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Well, this is not the shortest meeting we've ever had, but it's close. Any other business that may come before council tonight?
There is a hole in the ground where the pavilion once stood, so progress.
Yes, they
is
were out
being
there.
made. They've been working the
They were out
last
there today.
couple days.
Very good.
Um,
Yay.
The best face forward, best foot forward, that starts, so I will be looking at my district over on Bath Road. So those that are in that neighborhood, tighten up and we'll see who will win.
All right, good announcement there.
Yeah.
Any council discussions or observations you'd like to bring forward? Anyone who would like to make public comment? Agenda items for our next meeting?
I didn't get a chance to talk to Shirley, but hopefully we'll have some ordinance
Yes.
amendments back from,
She just got
Justin.
two back in the last day or so.
okay.
So-
Yep. Anything else? Okay. At 7:31, our meeting is adjourned. Well, Misty, that's probably the shortest meeting.